Why perseverance matters more than talent. Imagine two people standing at the starting line of life. One is exceptionally talented, gifted with intelligence, natural charisma, or perhaps physical ability. The other is average, maybe even struggling in certain areas, but they possess one quality that sets them apart: perseverance. History shows us, time and time again, that the second person often outpaces the first. Why? Because talent opens doors, but perseverance keeps them open. Talent may start the race, but perseverance finishes it. Perseverance is not glamorous. It's not the dramatic highlight reel you see in movies. Instead, it's the quiet, consistent, often invisible force that pushes a person forward when the world says stop. It's the ability to endure setbacks, learn from failure, and keep showing up day after day, year after year. And the truth is, your future doesn't belong to the most gifted, the wealthiest, or the luckiest. It belongs to those who refuse to quit. In this journey we're about to take together, you'll discover how perseverance works, why it's the ultimate key to unlocking your potential, and how to cultivate it even when everything seems stacked against you. We'll dive into stories of history, practical strategies, psychology, and the deep philosophy behind why sticking with something, no matter how hard, reshapes not only your destiny, but also your character. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever doubted whether you could make it, or if you've ever looked at others and thought, they're just naturally gifted, I'll never catch up, this message is for you. Because perseverance is not about what you were born with. It's about what you choose to continue doing when things get tough. 1. The key that unlocks your future. Perseverance is the silent power that shapes your destiny. Talent may give you a head start, but without perseverance, it fades. Perseverance is what keeps you moving when progress is invisible, when failure stings, and when quitting feels easier. Think of the bamboo tree. For years, nothing grows above the soil, yet its roots are spreading deep. Then suddenly, it shoots upward at incredible speed. Success works the same way. What looks like overnight achievement is built on years of persistence. History proves this. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, yet his refusal to quit changed the world. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Their common trait wasn't talent, it was perseverance. Psychologists call this grit, the combination of passion and persistence toward long-term goals. Grit matters more than natural ability because the road to success is always filled with setbacks. Perseverance turns obstacles into lessons and failures into stepping stones. It also builds inner strength. Every time you keep going, you develop resilience, self-belief, and patience. You learn to trust the process instead of chasing instant results. Perseverance often walks with discipline, consistency, and faith. Together, they form the foundation of lasting achievement. The true gift of perseverance isn't just reaching your goals, it's who you become along the way. You transform into someone stronger, wiser, and unshakable. That's why perseverance is the key that unlocks your future. It guarantees progress no matter how slow, and bridges the gap between where you are now and where you dream to be. 2. Perseverance in the face of failure. Failure. It's the word most people fear, the experience most try to avoid, yet it is the unavoidable companion of every journey worth taking. When you aim high, you will fall. When you risk, you will stumble. The question is not whether you will fail, it's how you respond when you do. Perseverance is what separates those who are destroyed by failure from those who are shaped by it. Every successful person has a trail of failure behind them. Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player in history, was cut from his high school team. Walt Disney was fired because his editor said he lacked imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. If they had stopped at those moments of rejection, the world would have lost some of its greatest icons. Perseverance transforms failure from an enemy into a teacher. It asks, what can I learn here? How can I grow? When you shift your mindset this way, failure becomes fuel. Edison didn't see 10,000 failed experiments. He saw 10,000 steps closer to success. The key is resilience. Resilience means bouncing back, not by pretending the pain isn't real, but by refusing to let the pain define you. Failures hurt. They bruise your pride. They test your spirit. But perseverance gives you the strength to stand again, wiser than before. The truth is, the road to your future is paved with failures. Each one is a stepping stone, not a roadblock. If you keep walking, failure will not be your final chapter. It will be the introduction to your greatest triumph. 3. Building habits that keep you moving forward. Perseverance is not built in a single heroic moment. It is crafted in the small, often invisible choices you make every day. The secret lies in habits, consistent actions that, repeated over time, form the backbone of persistence. Motivation sparks you to begin, but motivation fades. Habits keep you going when inspiration runs dry. That's why successful people design routines that align with their goals. The writer who commits to writing 500 words daily, the athlete who trains even when tired, the student who studies an hour each night, these are acts of perseverance disguised as habits. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains it best. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. In other words, goals give direction, but systems, your habits, create progress. Habits also reduce the weight of decision fatigue. If you rely only on willpower, you'll burn out quickly. But when perseverance is automated through routine, progress becomes natural. It's no longer about whether you feel like it, it's simply what you do. Building habits that fuel perseverance requires 3 steps. Start small. Tiny actions like writing 1 sentence or doing 5 push-ups create momentum. Stay consistent. Frequency matters more than intensity. 1 step daily beats 10 steps once a month. Track and adjust. Reflect on your habits, celebrate small wins, and refine your process. Perseverance thrives not in dramatic bursts, but in quiet consistency. The stone is not shaped by 1 strike of the hammer, it's shaped by thousands of steady hits. Your future is the same. It will not be unlocked in a single day, but by the habits you practice every day. For the role of discipline in perseverance. If perseverance is the engine that drives you forward, discipline is the steering wheel that keeps you on the road. Without discipline, perseverance becomes chaotic energy, unfocused, inconsistent, and prone to burnout. Discipline ensures that persistence is not just about doing more, but about doing the right things consistently. Discipline means showing up when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to train, sitting at your desk to work, or practicing your craft long after the excitement has faded. It's the quiet force that says, I made a commitment and I will keep it. Many people mistake discipline for punishment. In reality, discipline is freedom. When you discipline yourself, you no longer depend on fleeting emotions or external motivation. You create structure, and that structure protects your progress. The athlete who trains daily doesn't rely on feeling motivated. Their discipline turns training into a lifestyle. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Discipline is precisely this, taking control of yourself when the outside world tempts you to drift. Think about soldiers in training. The reason militaries emphasize discipline is not to strip individuality, but to forge reliability. In the chaos of battle, discipline keeps them calm, focused, and effective. In life, your discipline does the same. It steadies you in moments of doubt, keeps you working when progress is slow, and aligns your actions with your long-term vision. Without discipline, perseverance burns out in a storm of scattered efforts. With discipline, perseverance becomes a steady flame that no obstacle can extinguish. 5. Finding motivation when hope fades. Even the strongest perseverer faces moments when hope runs dry. Days when the mountain feels too high, the failures feel too heavy, and the dream feels too far away. In those moments, motivation seems like a stranger. How do you keep going when every part of you whispers, quit? The first step is to remember your why. Motivation weakens when we lose sight of our purpose. Ask yourself, why did I start? What do I truly want? Who will benefit if I succeed? Reconnecting with your reason reignites your drive. A parent working for their child's future, a dreamer building something meaningful, or a student striving for a better life purpose is the spark that keeps the fire alive. Second, break the overwhelming into the manageable. Climbing Everest is impossible if you stare at the peak. But if you focus on just the next step, suddenly the impossible becomes possible. Perseverance grows when you shrink challenges into daily actions. Third, borrow strength when yours runs low. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, mentors, friends, or even stories of those who overcame worse odds. Hope is contagious. Just as negativity drains you, positivity replenishes you. Finally, embrace the truth that motivation will not always be there. And that's okay. You don't need to feel motivated to act. You need only to act, and motivation will often follow. Like a runner who doesn't feel like training but begins jogging anyway, momentum builds once you start moving. Hope may flicker, but perseverance doesn't depend on constant brightness. It learns to walk even in the dark, trusting that dawn will come. 6. The power of patience and perseverance. In our fast-paced world, patience is often mistaken for weakness. We live in an age of instant results, fast food, instant messages, on-demand everything. But true perseverance cannot survive without patience. If perseverance is the engine and discipline the steering wheel, then patience is the fuel that keeps you going when progress feels painfully slow. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It means the ability to endure delay without giving up, to keep watering the seed even when the soil looks empty. Remember the story of the bamboo tree. It takes years of unseen growth before any visible result. Without patience, the farmer would quit long before the miracle happened. In your own journey, there will be seasons of silence. You'll put in effort without immediate payoff. This is where most people give up, believing their work is in vain. But patience allows you to trust the process. It whispers, stay. Keep going. Growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Patience also tempers frustration. Without it, every setback feels unbearable. With it, setbacks become part of the timeline. Great projects, deep relationships, meaningful achievements all require time. Impatience chases shortcuts and collapses when they don't work. Patience endures, and because it endures, it wins. As the proverb says, the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Perseverance, powered by patience, transforms impossible dreams into inevitable realities. 7. Courage and risk. Why perseverance demands bravery. Perseverance is not just about enduring hardship. It is also about daring to face the unknown. Every path worth walking involves risk. The risk of failure, rejection, loss, or ridicule. Without courage, perseverance collapses at the first sign of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward despite it. The entrepreneur launching a business, the artist sharing their work, the student pursuing a dream abroad, but all must persevere through fear of the unknown. Their bravery is not that they feel no fear, but that they refuse to let fear decide their future. Perseverance demands risk because growth lives outside of comfort zones. Staying safe may protect you from failure, but it also traps you in mediocrity. Every breakthrough in history came from someone willing to risk. The Wright brothers risked ridicule to invent flight. Rosa Parks risked punishment to demand justice. Each act of perseverance was fueled by courage. Fear whispers, "What if you fail?" Courage replies, "What if I succeed?" Perseverance is the bridge between those two voices. Courage also builds resilience. Each time you face fear and continue, you prove to yourself that fear is not fatal. That proof becomes confidence, and that confidence fuels even greater perseverance. At its core, perseverance requires bravery because the future is uncertain. But here's the truth. Uncertainty is not your enemy, it's your invitation. Every time you persist in the face of risk, you expand your capacity, your confidence, and your courage. And eventually you discover that fear was never there to stop you, it was there to sharpen you. 8. The role of faith, believing before you see. Perseverance often requires you to walk blindly into the unknown. You invest energy, time, and heart into something long before you see any reward. In those moments, faith becomes essential. Faith doesn't always mean religion, though spiritual belief can be a strong source of strength. Faith in perseverance means trusting that your efforts will matter, even when results are invisible. It's believing in yourself when no one else does, holding on to a vision when others only see emptiness. Think of explorers who set sail across oceans before maps existed. They had no proof that land lay ahead, only faith that the horizon wasn't the end. Or scientists who pursued theories others laughed at, like Galileo or Marie Curie, believing in truths before society recognized them. Their perseverance was rooted in faith. Faith gives you resilience during droughts. When rejection letters pile up, when progress stalls, when the dream seems impossible, faith whispers, keep going. Your time is coming. Without faith, perseverance starves. With faith, perseverance thrives even in the darkest nights. Faith is also contagious. Your belief inspires others. Families, communities, even nations rise when one person's faith perseveres through storms. That's why leaders, inventors, and visionaries must carry faith, not just for themselves, but for those who follow. At its heart, faith is the courage to see with the heart when the eyes cannot yet see. 9. Perseverance in the power of community. Perseverance feels deeply personal, but no one perseveres entirely alone. Community, family, friends, mentors, teammates provide strength that multiplies your own. When you fall, community helps you rise. When your energy fades, community lends theirs. Countless success stories prove this truth. Behind every resilient individual stands a circle of support. Consider athletes. Even the greatest performers rely on coaches, trainers, and fans. Their perseverance is fueled by a network that keeps them focused and accountable. Or entrepreneurs. Many breakthroughs are possible only because of partners, investors, or supportive families who believe in the vision. Community strengthens perseverance in 3 ways. Encouragement. Words of belief from others can reignite your own fading hope. Accountability. Knowing someone is watching keeps you consistent when you'd rather quit. Shared energy. Struggles feel lighter when carried together, and victories feel sweeter when celebrated together. But community doesn't just support perseverance, it also challenges it. The right community pushes you to grow, refuses to let you settle, and reminds you of your potential when you forget. Of course, not all communities uplift. Negative environments can drain perseverance. That's why choosing your circle is critical. Surround yourself with those who push you forward, not those who pull you back. In the end, perseverance is personal, but it is rarely solitary. The strength of community reminds us, while the journey may be yours alone, you never have to walk it without allies. 10. The transformation perseverance creates. When people think of perseverance, they often imagine it only as a tool to achieve goals. But its greatest gift is not the achievement, it's the transformation it creates within you. Perseverance reshapes your identity, your character, and the way you see the world. Every time you persevere, you train your mind to see obstacles differently. Challenges no longer appear as dead ends, but as opportunities to adapt. Failures stop feeling like final verdicts and start feeling like stepping stones. With each act of perseverance, you build resilience, a muscle that grows only through struggle. This transformation also deepens self-trust. When you persevere, you prove to yourself that you can endure. That proof builds unshakable confidence, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances. You no longer ask, "Can I handle this?" You know you can because you already have. Perseverance transforms fear into courage. By facing difficulties again and again, you discover that fear loses its power over you. The challenges that once intimidated you now fuel your growth. You learn to stand taller, speak louder, dream bigger. Perhaps most importantly, perseverance cultivates gratitude. After enduring hardship, even small victories shine brighter. The journey teaches you to value effort as much as results, process as much as outcome. You stop chasing quick rewards and start appreciating the depth of long-term growth. At the end of the journey, success feels different. It is no longer just a trophy, a paycheck, or applause. It is the quiet pride of knowing you didn't give up. Perseverance changes not just what you achieve, it changes who you become. And that person, forged by struggle and persistence, is far stronger than the one who began. Perseverance is more than just enduring hardship. It is the force that turns effort into achievement and struggle into growth. Talent and opportunity may give you a start, but perseverance ensures you finish. It is the choice to rise after failure, to keep moving when hope fades, and to believe in tomorrow even when today feels heavy. Through perseverance, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Obstacles stop being barriers and become lessons. Failures stop being endings and become beginnings. The true reward of perseverance is not only success, but transformation. You become the kind of person capable of building the life you desire. Your future does not require perfection. It requires persistence. Every small step forward, taken consistently, shapes your destiny. Perseverance is not simply the key to unlocking your future. It is the key to unlocking your greatest self.